Do I die? Do I live? Who knows? Find out this episode of Hype Heroes. Hey, Internet, this is a little side campaign to the actual campaign. We all decided to do our own little thing after doing our own little thing during the day. So this is the nighttime version. I go to check out a demon train. Streaming this?
It's up to you. If you're gonna keep streaming this, I can make it at least a little bit more presentable.
Yeah, let's do it.
You're gonna keep streaming?
Yeah, why not? Let's get into character.
Let me pull up some stuff then.
Okay, you do you, boo boo. God, I have so many things open. Where am I going? There it is. The music. They're quiet though.
Alrighty. There's
There we
your
go.
giant fucking face. Okay. So are
My
you ready?
big old giant face. I'm always ready.
So, you decided during your group's little split up to go and re-inspect the train.
Yes.
And as you went to go re-inspect the train, you realized, as you were told by ZUZU...
This is a bad idea.
Well, no, he's also going to be with you. You were told by him that there was already a lizardman, I guess you'd call it a detachment, at the train. So it would be pretty safe just going, but he's just going to go with you as well.
Okay.
So it takes you a pretty good chunk of time. Let me put it this way. You're going to be the last back. I'm going to put that in quotations.
I figured.
Because it's a pretty good walk. It takes you about an hour and a half-ish, 2 hours to walk through the jungle to get there.
Okay.
And eventually you make it back. And so, let me... no, I'm just going to keep that going, whatever.
Too much work.
And no, I didn't have another track loaded. I was going to make it something creepy. But,
I see.
so,
That's fine.
as you show up, yes, you see a couple of scattered, like, just lizardmen warriors, the big Saurus-looking guys.
Yes.
And you clear up onto this beach. So you now get to actually officially see you were kind of fighting, like, on a beach.
Okay. Ow.
You see the wreckage, obviously, of you, and then where the train was, you see this.
Before we left the village, I wanted to go with ZUZU to like a little merchant shop real quick, grab a fishing pole and a mallet, and sell off my shield and mace to compensate since I don't have gold.
Okay.
I still have my battle axe. I'm good.
Okay, yeah. We'll just, yeah, sure. In that
We'll just
case,
say it
go ahead and add shield and mace and fishing pole and mallet.
I'm getting rid of to compensate for the money. Since I don't have any money, I'm getting rid of the shield and mace.
You don't have to get rid of it. What's your survival?
You want me to just roll it?
No, what is your survival, just in general?
+2?
Yeah, go ahead and roll survival for me.
Okay. Come on. Oh, no.
The thing
It is
is...
not good, friend.
What I'm trying to figure out is... So, I'm thinking, can you make a fishing pole? Because it's not that terribly difficult.
Well, the thing is, I would need string or a strong vine.
Exactly, but apparently you can't. So
Exactly.
let me...
This is what I meant to do when we first started, but then you started rolling with it, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Let me check something.
And there's a reasoning to this. I suppose I could use my mace as a mallet.
Okay, that's a lot better.
Yeah.
ZUZU is able to make you one.
Sweet. ZUZU, you're a good friend. Thank you.
Yeah, he kind of got the gist of what you were trying to do, because assuming you're like, I want to get a fishing pole. He's like, oh. He goes,
ZUZU, I can't thank you enough. I just realized I give away money. I'm hungry. I'm going to starve. We need to fish.
he goes, we fish in river and lake, not ocean. Ocean full of bad fish. Ocean full of bad, mean fish.
I look at Zuzu and go, what does Zalak like to eat the most? Is there any preferred dish?
He kind of tilts his head. And he's thinking, and he goes, fish me, suppose. He goes,
okay.
Nothing, no specific thing.
Alright. We got ourselves a fishing pole. We're getting to the train site. Zuzu's a boss.
Yeah. So you guys are walking there. So you're at the train station. You guys are at where you guys fought.
Yeah, the train site is what I meant.
So you notice now there is no top of the train, just a massive crater. It looks like some sort of large bomb went off here.
Yeah. So I don't see any of the extra cars or anything. No,
the cars are still lying around. As a matter of fact, you can see most of where you guys were originally fighting, although some of it's been scattered, obviously, from the explosion.
Yeah.
And you're kind of now standing, I guess, in the original arena where you guys fought the train, I suppose.
Where, how large of a space would I be, like, searching? 60 feet,
how large do you want to search? Or what do you want
to do? Well, I want to make sure each train car isn't currently holding anything. Not so much loot. I am going to be looking for it, though. But making sure that there's no random barbarians hiding in them still, or there's anything that we haven't yet faced. Because we only fought one barbarian, so we know that the train can do it.
So go ahead and roll perception for me.
Okay. Not so good. I am rolling terribly.
It's actually, you rolled a 10. That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not crazy.
Exactly.
You kind of like go to start looking, and you stop, and you look over to your side, and you see two of the Saurus warriors, like dragging.
Are they Crocscar or Saurus?
No, these are Saurus.
Okay.
And you see them kind of dragging bodies of dead barbarian warriors away. So you're like, if there was anything over here, I
just kind of like run over and motion to him. Did you have to kill them, or did you find them dead?
They kind of just look at each other, and then they look back at you, and then they just keep walking.
Fair enough.
So use your imagination, I suppose.
Fair enough. With my imagination, I'm going to use one of my spells. I'm going to use Unseen Servant. So I conjure up this spectral being. He's able to do very minor tasks. He can even like serve me food and drink if I had it. So with that being said, I'm going to just tell him to search for anything out of the ordinary. If he sees anything, to let me know. He's able to search up to 60 feet away from me. Then after that, he disappears. So I tell him also to stay within range.
Of course, okay. And what command are you going to give him?
To just search, basically.
Okay. So what you do is you reach into your pocket. You pull out this little piece of, it looks like a little doll made of wood, and you wrap string around the body, and you tie it, and you say a quick something, and you bury it in the sand. And you step back, and whoop, this little like gremlin looking thing pops up, or whatever you want it to look like pops up.
Fair enough.
And
like a gremlin.
Yeah, and he kind of bows to you, and he goes, oh no, it says invisible.
No, he can't.
Shapeless force.
Yeah.
So, how do you know what it does? And so it creates like this ghost-looking thing, and then
well, it just says the servant springs into existence in an unoccupied space on the ground within range. It does have AC 10, 1 hit point, and strength of 2. It can't attack. If it drops to 0 hit points, the spell ends.
Okay, gotcha. So so yeah, it creates this ghostly form of this like gremlin. It kind of bows to you, and you give it the command to fetch, and it kind of sits there and stares at you for just a moment. Well, it's because it stares at you. I'll let you know right now, saying search is...
Yeah, that won't work. Yeah, well, also too hard for him, evidently.
No, it's just really vague.
Well, it says, you can mentally command the servant to move up to 15 feet and interact with an object. So I physically have to find the object and tell him to go grab it.
Exactly.
So. Alright, just tell him to dance, keep me entertained.
Okay, he begins to dance.
Do the Russian jig.
Yeah. That perception check was also good enough to let you know. So, you kind of look back, and you can actually see the bridge where the train should have crossed into this area. The bridge is very gone. So, yeah, that is why you guys careened off and landed in the beach, more than likely.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm just kind of like searching every train car, making sure there's no one still alive.
Okay, so you're gonna...
that we may have to deal with.
So you're gonna search the train cars.
Yeah,
so,
and then also look for...
I'll give you an option.
Any kind of loot.
You can either roll for this.
Okay.
You can take a 10, or you can take a 20. So let me break this down for you. If you roll for it, I'm assuming you're looking for like a little under 5 minutes.
Okay.
If you take a 10, you take 10 minutes to do a search, and I'm going to count it as a base. I'll count it as a base 10, and I'll add ZUZU's perception to it as well.
Okay.
If you take a 20, I'll tell you everything you find, but it's going to take you like an hour.
I see. You know what? I don't really have too much planned outside of this. What I do have planned, I can probably just do whatever. What time is it around?
If I had to give it like
dark?
Yeah, if I had to give it a clock on a time, it's probably about 5 o'clock.
Oh, okay. So I got plenty of time still.
Let me think.
I was thinking.
Yeah, it's about 5 o'clock.
Alright, cool. Cool. It's not as dark as I was thinking. Alright. Or not as late as I was thinking, I should say. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then, yeah, I take the 20.
Okay. So...
Build the hour, make it 6.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kill the music. So you begin rummaging, and ZUZU kind of understands the gist of what you're doing. What are you actually looking for, Adam, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, no worries. I'm not looking for... Like, I'm looking for either the magic sticks, because Dombrowski's seen how important they are. But more importantly, he's looking for the artifact. He has a strong sense that it may have been with it.
So here's what you decide to do. You, as Dumbrowski, decide to do. Mm-hmm. You decide the best way to obviously sift through everything that's been on this train is to pull everything out. Obviously, the spell has ended, so what you begin to do is you, ZUZU, and ZUZU commands a couple of sources to help you. You begin to pull all of the items out of the train and put them onto the beach. That way, instead of having to hunt through the cars, you can just hunt through the... And so you start pulling items out, like luggage, but it's mostly mundane stuff. Like,
yeah.
It looks like what would be
while I'm in there, is it still... If I open up, like, the back door, is it another empty car, or is that spell ended?
That spell has ended.
Okay. Because my other worry was, it's an infinite void, there could be barbarians just waiting.
No, you're fine. So, you sift through, and you do find the occasional barbarian body inside, but they're mangled and destroyed.
Yeah, they don't have anything on them.
Well, not only that, why don't you just very quick... Yeah, you can roll investigation, I suppose, but I'm trying to think of a better... Roll medicine.
Medicine? Oh, alright. Man, I am just on fire with these rolls.
As far as you can tell, these guys died from a train
Should have done this earlier in the week.
Yeah. Well, as far as you can tell, these guys died from a train crash.
Okay. Fair enough.
Broken, bloodied, bruised. It doesn't take a genius to figure out how they died. So continuing as you're searching through stuff, eventually you and the Sauruses and Zuzu are able to kind of lay everything out on the sand train cars, and you're fairly confident that you found everything. So since you took the 20, you don't have to roll extra for this. So you begin poring over pretty much everything you pulled out. You open up boxes, and you find a couple of things that are interesting. Most of the stuff is pretty out of the ordinary, or everything's pretty ordinary, I should say. Nothing
Gotcha.
out of the ordinary. You eventually narrow it down to a couple of things that you found that are actually relatively interesting to you. The first thing you find is you find a small pouch of what appears to be gold, and it's worth about 50 gold.
Ah. ZUZU, we eat like kings.
So, go ahead and add that to your character.
Yep, I already did.
The next thing you find is you find enough of these pieces of something. It's organic, whatever it is, but you find it unusual that it be here. It's green and slippery, and I don't know, it just feels...
Or organic pieces of something.
Yeah, you're not quite sure what it is. But you also sense there's a slight bit of magic to it, but you are not...
I'm not capable.
Yeah, you're not familiar enough with it.
Okay.
If you didn't know any better, you'd almost think it's seaweed. But that's weird.
Interesting.
And then
I don't suppose ZUZU knows anything.
No, ZUZU's...
Okay, so I'm going to need someone in the party to detect magic.
So...
Oh, okay, fair enough. Why you pick up seaweed? Friend.
No, he detects the magic on it too. So he's actually the one that pointed it out to you. So he goes, it's not like natural magic, it's just something else. And the final thing you find, which is kind of unusual, you find a lute. But it doesn't look like a lute that you're familiar with. This lute's a bit smaller, and it has what appears to be some type of other device that goes with it that has these pieces of like elongated string, and that is, attached to another piece of long, thin wood. And you notice when you scrape that this what almost looks like a bow across this lute-looking device, it makes a musical noise.
Oh.
And this is also clearly magical, but again, you're not 100% sure why.
Okay.
So what would you like to do? And that pretty much concludes your search for the train.
Yeah.
You've pulled everything out of any sort of value.
Yeah, that's fine. I got enough. I have what I assume is a violin for our bard for later.
Specifically, it is a fiddle, but yes.
Oh, it's a fiddle. Oh, even better.
Yep.
Is it gold? Is it the devils? Are we about to summon something?
Maybe, I don't know.
Starts playing it, suddenly the devil shows up. Devil down, Georgia!
But yes, you did find what is equivalent of a fiddle. And something else.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out in the future. At this point, is there any, like, decent-sized chunks of metal that I could carry back with me?
Not
from the demon train?
Though there is one last car.
Okay.
But it is up by the actual top of the trestle, by like where the train tracks are.
Okay.
Because it looks almost like a
how far away?
It's just up the hill. It'll take you maybe 2 minutes to get up there.
Oh, okay. I was thinking if it was longer, I might use something, but yeah, that's fine. I walk up there.
Yeah, okay. ZUZU kind of follows suit, and one or two of the Saurus warriors kind of follow you guys as well. They're more protecting ZUZU than you.
Yeah, I figured.
So you get to the top of the trestles, and you see this car. You go inside, and you have a brief kind of... Again, we're going to count this as part of your 20.
Yeah.
You kind of take a brief look around. You don't see anything super special, but you do notice in the very back, this was like the caboose of the train, the last car. And you don't remember this car actually originally being on the train. which is kind of odd.
Interesting.
So, but again, eventually you start rummaging around, and inside the very back of the thing, inside a hidden compartment, obviously meant for like the conductor of the train or whatever,
Yeah.
you find another warp stick.
Yes. I have no idea what I'm going to use it for, but at least I have it.
Okay, so are you going to pick it up with your bare hand, or are you going to pick it up with...
No, I'm going to conceal it with, Oh, what happened with the armor?
What armor?
Because I asked Select for druidish armor, because I can't wear chain. And then they took me somewhere.
Why can't you wear chain?
Because when I go 6th level, when I go druid, it's not going to work correctly, so I took it as, because I'm taking the path of the old one and taking more of a druid path.
Why will it not work correctly?
Because in there it says druids will not, it doesn't say can't, will not use any armor or shields made of metal.
Okay, I can fix that, don't worry.
Okay. Because right now I'm wearing a chainmail, so...
That in and of itself we can fix, but
Okay. But yeah, I rip off a decent chunk of my clothing, get some fleece, and wrap the warp stick around it and tie it tight so it doesn't, like, fall out.
Okay, cool.
Because at this point, I don't care about the clothing.
You're also near the bridge, so just throwing that out there as well.
Gotcha.
So
looking towards the bridge, do I see anything?
The bridge is gone, for lack of a better term.
Fair enough. Can I roll perception and get a little bit closer and roll perception and see if I see anything down underneath the bridge or
Actually, roll
anything?
Investigation.
Investigation, okay. Come on, good rolls. Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, the bridge is definitely gone.
Do I almost fall off?
Yeah.
ZUZU grabs me.
Yeah, he like grabs you and is trying to hold you up, but he like starts to slip and you pull yourself up and you're like, okay, I'm fine. Good now.
Okay. Okay. Is there any animals in the area?
ZUZU?
ZUZU's officially an animal. We got it.
No.
Not like any squirrels, birds.
So you're in a jungle. Yeah, there's birds. Yeah, there are naturally occurring animals nearby.
Okay.
And they're basic wildlife. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull out one of my rations. And I'm actually going to change this to 1 ration because it's been a while. Half a ration, why not? Makes more sense. It's been a while since we've actually sat down and done it, ate and whatnot. So anyway, I pull out my last bit of ration and I start like kind of putting it more in an offering space on the ground, seeing if any animals will come near it.
Okay, when you say putting in an offering space, I'm assuming you're trying
like clearing out a space, like maybe on top of a log or something.
Okay, you're trying to
breaking it up.
Animals. What's happening?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. I'm trying to come off as nice.
You put it on a log and you kind of step away, and then a couple of birds come down and start pecking at the food.
Okay. I'm not sure if I should roll animal handling first before doing this. No.
What are you trying to do?
Trying to befriend the animal. Because I'm going to speak with it. But I don't want to start speaking and it fly away like crazy. That's the thing.
Okay, well, this is a little bit different. So, speak with animals. You now can understand and talk with the birds that are pecking at the food. So just go ahead and...
Okay. I just, in dumbrowski manner, how do I want to say this? Again, I'm trying to think of a way so they don't fly away.
So for something like this, don't worry about them flying away because
Okay.
it's assumed that they understand what's going on to enough of an extent.
Okay, fair enough. Then I'm not gonna bother the Dombrowski voice because I'm just trying to think.
Yeah. Just so what are you trying to do here?
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get any information if they know of any ruins along the coast or in the area. If they've seen anything suspicious to them, other than other beasts trying to eat them.
Roll.
And also if they have seen a waterfall nearby. Nothing huge, just like a nice little pond with a waterfall.
So go ahead and roll persuasion because you're asking quite a bit of information.
True. Okay, persuasion. Come on, big numbers.
That'll get you a bit. So
Okay.
I can answer one of the. I think.
Okay.
You asked 3 things.
Yeah. We'll just go with the ruins then.
Unfortunately,
if they know
I'm
any
gonna give you
ruins.
one of the informations. I'm able to tell you where the waterfall is. There is a waterfall nearby.
How far?
It's actually the one they describe you the direction. It's actually almost on the way back.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, there's actually the train tracks pass over like a little section where there's a running river, and if you follow that river up, it actually leads to a waterfall.
Okay. Perfect.
It's pretty small, but it's there.
That's fine. It works for what I need then. All right, then I thank the birds and I leave the rations there for them to eat and say stay safe, don't get eaten.
And just keep pecking at the food. So
yeah, figured. And okay, so then I look at ZUZU and I ask him if he'd be okay with traveling to the waterfall.
He goes, "It on way back, sure."
Okay, cool. Then we just start heading on the way back. Well, I asked ZUZU, is there anything that you need to do while we're out here? Or...
He goes, "No, I just come out here to watch you."
Okay, I know, I'm a strange one. I'm very strange.
He goes, "Like, you seem like one to attract trouble."
You're so right, ZUZU. You're so right. This could have easily gone horribly wrong.
Yeah. So ironically enough, ZUZU is actually small enough to where he could actually perch up on your shoulder if he really wanted to.
Dude, yeah. I'd ask him, do you want to just climb on me? I will carry you.
He goes...
You seem tired.
He goes, "It okay?"
Absolutely. You are a friend. Come.
All right. So he kind of, like, in a flash, he just crawls up your leg, up the side of your body, around your back, and then perches up on your shoulder.
Sweet.
And he's like lightning fast when he does this too.
Like is there something I should roll perception on?
No, you don't need to. It's really fast though.
All right, fair enough. Like I was thinking unusually fast, but all right.
Yeah. Remember these guys skinks are not.
Oh, that's right, he's a skink.
Yeah, they're not particularly big.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
all right, cool.
Anyway. So you want to head to this waterfall, I take it then?
Yeah.
So what are you doing at this waterfall?
At this waterfall, I'm just looking to see at the moment how many trees are in the area. If there's a nice patch of earth where there's nothing there. What do I see when I get there?
So you see what?
This is a jungle.
What's a raven? I'm gonna say it's a raven. What the raven described fairly accurately. It's a pretty small waterfall. It's a little bit taller than you are, but not by much. The water's flowing very smoothly. The water looks very clean here. There's a little bit of an opening, around where where the bottom of the waterfall meets the new river, and then it goes back into the forest, and the forest gets much more dense. And this is a jungle, I should say. Jungle is a little bit more precise, but the jungle is a little bit more clear around this waterfall.
Okay. In that case, there's no poisonous beasts or anything we'd have to worry about.
Not as far as you're aware.
Okay, fair enough. Well, with that then, can I take one more hour to take out my axe and start clearing out the brush and if I could find decently big enough trees, kind of cut them down and make little training dummies that we would have had in the Russian army, or wherever I'm from.
I suppose, yeah, you could. I don't even think it'd take you an hour. I'd say it'd take you maybe like a half an hour.
Okay, yeah, just here and there, kind of spread out wherever.
Yeah, and of course you got ZUZU to help you out too, and ZUZU can use a bit of his magic to help you as well.
Okay, cool.
So with his help, in about 20 minutes to half an hour, you're able to assemble a couple of these little dummies.
All right, cool. Then, just because I'm not used to being a druidish... What?
The Russian army.
The Russian army. I know, I gotta think of an actual name for where he's from.
Alright, anyway.
I just can't think of anything. I don't know the lore of D&D universe yet.
Well, remember, this is a brand new land, so just make up your own.
Oh, okay, cool. Rushivania.
There you go.
No, I'll actually think of something. Man, my rolls have been crap today. So at any rate, I tell ZUZU I just wanted to train a little bit and make a space for my comrades as well, just in case. I also have other plans, but that'll have to wait, because I was expecting to see Croxigar with us, but evidently not. Alright, so with that, just as a show of whatever, and just to make sure that I can do this, I am about, 30 speed? So I am 30 feet away from 60 feet away from one of the target dummies, and I run 30 feet, and then I cast, as I'm running, I cast, where is it? Misty Step, which is my second level, to teleport behind the target dummy, that is, and then to slash it with my battle axe using two-handed, and then using the fifth ability to attack twice, just to kind of like show force kind of thing. I don't Divine Smite just because, but I just wanted to see if I am used to the druidic ways yet enough to be able to pull something like that off.
You're good enough. It's
all right. That, and I just wanted to impress ZUZU.
ZUZU kind of he watches your technique and kind of corrects you at a couple of things. And he kind of steps over by the waterfall and he goes, sit. He goes, I want to see something.
Okay. I sit underneath the waterfall.
Directly underneath it?
Yeah, why not?
He goes, not in waterfall, here.
Oh, my apologies, ZUZU. Alright, I correct myself.
Alright.
I was thinking this was like a monk session.
No, not quite.
Sitting underneath the waterfall.
He goes, let me see hand.
Okay.
Right, so you're gonna give him your hand, right?
Yes.
Okay. Roll Arcana for me.
Alright.
Just to see if you can tell what he's doing.
Hallelujah.
He is sensing your energy. Your life energy. And he sits there for just a moment. And he's really concentrating on something. You're not quite sure what. Even with a 22, you're still not quite sure what he's concentrating. But you know he's trying. It's almost like he's trying to look for something. And he says,
I'm not evil, I assure you.
He goes, I see something. He goes, me see something.
The illness? Am I sick? Am I dying? ZUZU, help! And I passionately faint.
No. He goes, no. He goes, I sense
spooky.
Power. Untapped. Unused. Me feel like it familiar. But it not familiar. Me not sure what to think. Me see you have this power before. It's like your power and my power. This is confusing. He goes, but lot of it, and lot there.
So
So what you're telling me, Zuzu, is I need to train to bring it out forth.
He goes, no. Me no feel
train.
like training help you. You train
Okay.
a lot. But this no change. Me feel it when first meeting as well, and when me was on shoulder. This why me want to check. May need ask. May need ask locked. He may know.
Okay. We'll ask
Maybe
that.
sense 2?
Knows. He sends a myriad. I know that.
Oh.
Okay. So that pretty much wraps everything up, and then we're just gonna head back. Do you want to do the Zlak part now, or do you want to do it when everyone's together?
That's not going to happen. By the
Okay, I
time
didn't
you
think
get
so.
back, it's already going to be, because remember, you stopped for like another half hour. By
Yeah.
the time you get back, it's probably going to be with the equivalent of like 8:30 or 9 o'clock. You're going to be like the last one back.
Okay, fair enough. Oh,
So-
and in that waterfall, did I notice like any fish life in the water?
Yeah, there's a bit of fish. They're actually kind of pooled at the bottom of the waterfall. They probably use it as some sort of like feeding ground.
They're not. Are they like really big or really small?
Myriad of sizes. Some
Okay.
small ones, some other, nothing like massive. I'd say the largest is the size of like a salmon or something.
Okay. Then before we actually head back, can I take 30 minutes or so to try to fish out some stuff in the fishing pole?
Roll survival 3 times.
Okay. Hang on. Let me just put this in my thing, because I forgot we made the fishing pole. Okay. That way I don't forget. Alright, survival?
Ooh. So for the first 10 minutes, you end up falling asleep.
Sounds like dumbrowski.
ZUZU kind of catches you falling asleep, and he whips you with his tail, and you're like, I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake. And then you feel a really large tug on your line, and you whip it back up, and you pull out one of the large salmon-looking fishes. Go ahead and just add a large fresh fish to your inventory.
Okay.
And then you whip another line back in, and you're sitting there for just a couple of minutes, and then you feel another fairly large tug, and you pull out and then add a medium fish to your inventory.
Okay. Cool.
So,
Alright. And then, before we leave the waterfall, so am I getting armor from Zlak or ZUZU, or no?
I already know what
If
I'm doing.
not,
No,
you already know?
You will be getting armor.
okay, because if not, I was gonna use the stick, so.
Oh, no, you're fine. You can
Alright,
still
cool.
use it technically if you want, but
Nah. I just figured using the stick around all this nature would be good.
it's up to you.
Actually, I am surrounded by nature. You know what? I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna focus on a weapon.
A weapon, huh?
Yeah, so I pull out the warp stick and I unwrap it, and I, being by the waterfall, almost with the water splashing on me, I place my hands on it.
Okay. What weapon
Then
type?
suddenly Cthulhu. What's that?
What weapon type? Do you think of?
Weapon type? Nature.
No. No, like
You're talking
an
about the
axe, a
actual
sword, like.
Dombrowski obviously likes his axe, but up to you, man. I'm not gonna. If anything, battle axe or a sword or something.
Okay.
I'm
'Cause
fine with the
that's
staff too.
It's part of the stick, is you have to think of a specific weapon for it to work.
I see. Okay. In that case, I got rid of my shield, so I have no need for it. I'm two-handing. I'm thinking of a greatsword.
A great sword?
I just get a tiny dagger that looks like a greatsword. Yeah!
Alright.
The DM has had enough of your shit.
Give me a sec.
Yeah, with that crit to survival, suddenly Gyarados. Fight.
Ooh, that might be cool. Sorry, I'm looking at some stuff.
Oh, you're fine. I mean, if you want to take the night and just tell me tomorrow, that's fine too.
No, I'm looking at the compendium right now. I'm trying to see if there's anything cool.
Let's see. Ah.
Oh my god, is that going to time out? No, it's not. Okay, good.
What was it going to time out?
My thing that it was checking.
So I'd lose proficiency with it,
Apparently
but it's
there's
fine.
a whip of archaeology.
Archaeology?
Archaeology.
Hmm.
No, not that. Hmm. Ooh. Oh, I like that. Okay, I got one for you, Adam.
Okay.
So, you think of a greatsword, correct?
Yes.
And the weapon reaches out and around to nature around it, and it comes together and drops a large sword in front of you on the ground.
All right. I pick it up. So I can't sense magic, so I swipe at a target dummy.
And it cuts through it like a greatsword would.
All right.
Yeah. I could give you a bit of a description for it, though.
Okay.
The hilt of the blade itself is gold wrapped around the hilt, but it has a black inside, and the edges of this great sword are scarlet red. Other than that, nothing.
Huh. Okay, so you said the hilts is what?
Black.
Black.
And the edge of the silver blade is scarlet red.
Sounds nifty. Sounds like I need to put a theft device on that for Marius. He'd touch my butt all the time, trying to steal my shit.
You can try to roll Arcana to see if you can activate its magical ability or something.
Okay. I figured I would need your roommate to roll.
Not necessarily.
Still new. 17 modified.
That's not bad, but you can't detect magic on this weapon.
Okay. Fair enough. Then
Like,
I
you
stow
look
it.
really hard. You could, yeah, you look really hard, and you really can't detect any magic from it.
I look at ZUZU, who I'm sure has this awkward look of where did this come from?
Okay.
And I ask him, can you sense any magic from the blade similar to what you felt with me, or if anything? Oh,
He
plus
can't-
6.
He can't either.
Fair enough.
Actually, ironically enough, let me see. Did I find it for him? I did. He uses Identify on it.
Oh, snap!
He holds it for just a moment. He looks up at you and he goes, "It's sword."
Fantastic.
He goes, "No magic. It's just great sword."
That enough.
He goes, "Maybe you got." He goes, "Maybe you need to do something with it."
Browski's not too intelligent, so. Fair enough. When I struck the dummy, did it feel like it did? You already said no. Alright, well. Alright, in that case, I'll just have to figure it out as we go. Oh, what's the... So, if I put in my inventory, what is the damage and all that?
Which, it is the regular damage of a regular greatsword.
Okay, so 2d6. I am not proficient, no.
I will let you know, this weapon does have one special property, though.
Okay.
This has the reach property.
Ooh, the reach. Oh. Do I know that, or is this something I have to find out still?
It's long enough to you can tell.
Okay, cool.
So you know what reach does, correct?
Not off the top of my head, but I do remember it, so I can look it up.
Well, I can tell you right now. Reach allows you to attack 5 feet away from what you normally could hit. Theoretically speaking, Adam, you can technically hit something from almost 10 feet away.
Awesome. Take that. Then battle axe. How did I have you set up? +0. I thought. Okay. Alright, cool. Awesome, dude.
And for the weapon, just so I don't forget what it is, put you know what? I'm gonna let you really think long and hard about this. I'm gonna tell you what the name of it is, but don't look it up.
Oh.
Be honest.
Okay.
Do not look it up.
I won't.
Put
I'll put in
down
the description.
Blade of Morning.
Need a morning. Huh. So what you're telling me is I need to kill ZUZU. Sorry, ZUZU.
No.
Alright, well, I will have to think about that.
Alright. So, and with that, I guess that's it for you then?
Yeah, and then me and ZUZU head on home.
Okay. Alright, back to boats.
Yep, back to boats.
I hear a voice calling, saying, "Let me risk it, asking if I